Here we're going to finish up the tail boom. We're going to need the parts we've previously assembled, plus the rod guides and the vertical tail fin. You'll do all this assembly with an M2.5 hex driver and some blue thread lock. We want to slide the 4 rod guides over the open end of the tail boom. They're a little tight, but they'll easily slip over. We need to get those on before the tail rotor transmission goes on. We're not going to final position them, but we're going to put them into the proper distances down the tail boom. And that distance is going to be, the one on the end is going to be 3 inches from the center of the guide to the end of the tail boom. Every one after that is going to be 6 3/8 of an inch from center to center. And I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, this is 3 inches from the end, and each one of these is 6 3/8 of an inch center to center from the previous one. So you can see kind of where they fit on the boom. Don't obsess over this too much. It's not the end of the world. These are going to be final positioned once the servo's on and the rod's in. But this is going to be an approximate position. Here we're going to put the tail rotor transmission onto the tail boom. And what we're trying to do is align the hole in the back of the tail boom with the front hole in the transmission. Just shortly a bolt's going to go through there. So as you put this on, you need to also align the cog inside the gear with this tube drive. So you're trying to align several things. This is going to fit really very tight. You need to turn both the tail rotor and the transmission at the same time. And once they line up, as this shows, we're going to put the fin on. Just a little hint to help you line this up: take an M2 hex driver, drop through this hole. It should drop all the way through. If you move the transmission around, you'll know if you've got it centered or not. Once you get it there, that's where we're going to put the fin on. Fin goes on with 2 bolts, a short M3x6 in the back, and a longer M3x12 in the front. This is the one that threads all the way through the fin, through the transmission, and into the boom. If it's not lined up right, you'll get some pressure there. You want to reposition this transmission until it goes in smoothly, because it should go right in. You want to use thread lock on both of these and tighten them down. Now on the bottom of the transmission there's a clamp. This is like extra insurance. You're going to take an M3x8 bolt, thread that in with thread lock, tighten that down. These don't have to meet, it just needs to be tight. Alright, what we've got left to do is put the control rod in, and we're going to be ready to install the tail boom. We're only going to partially put the control rod together. You're going to take one of these black links. You're going to thread this on about halfway up the threads. The final adjustment will be done once the radio's in. And we're going to take this control rod, we're going to put it in from the front of the tail boom and slide it through all of these guides. Again, at this point it's more of a placeholder. We're not going to do the final, we're not going to put the final link on it until after we've got it on the model, and you'll see why. Okay, at this point we can put the tail boom on the model.